if we go back like a couple of years ago when, that mounting technological advancement wasn't quite as aggressive as it is now, still very much the same thing, because we're backing early stage founders on wing and a prayer, and we're backing people to be able to figure it out, because things are going to blow up. Like, market trends are going to change, regulatory stuff is going to throw in hiccups and things like that. We're backing people to figure it out, and that is becoming more and more important now in our investment decision making, and why we spend an aggressive amount of time before the investment committee getting to know founders and seeing how they move.
Hey there, fellow internet friends and aspiring founders. My name is Ben from Brave, but today I am Ben from the Diary of a Founder, and today we are breaking some rules. Not only do we have a beer, but the guest is not technically a founder, but my gosh, does she know a thing or two about founders and what it takes to be an amazing, successful founder, because today we have the Queen. We have Rachel Guest.
We do.
From Antler. Welcome, Rachel.
Thanks, Pat. It's nice to be here.
Yeah?
I'm happy to be involved.
Not terrified at all?
A little bit.
All right, cool. Well.
But I mean, look, it's a besties chat with a little bit of an audience, which is...
What audiences? No one watches this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I just said that I do, but yeah. Okay.
Well, I always have my faith that you're going to have my back, so I love that.
Yeah, always.
All right, so where do we start? All right, Rachel Guest, who are you? And who do you work for? And
Wow,
why do you know so much about founders?
So Rachel Guest, I've been, oh my goodness, I didn't clear the throat quite as aggressively as I thought.
Yeah.
So I've been with Antler now for coming up to 4 years. So program director there. Thank you
to
very
program
much.
director.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool.
Correct. Running across Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne offices, which is really exciting. And so the residency part of our kind of due diligence process and investment making process is my baby. So that's what I run. So that's like the masterclass content and founder matching and camp mothering through the roller coaster and all of those sorts of bits and pieces.
Mothering.
A little bit.
I love that. But it's kind of how I feel about it.
I get that a lot. I know. I'm the least maternal person ever, unless I'm at work.
No, I think you got something there, because at the end of the day, the founders in your cohorts are your babies.
They are my babies. They are.
I think you've referred to them as your baby before.
And they're getting younger every day, so they need more mothering. And so we are a global VC.
Okay, so if anyone sees me doing this, it's a reminder to guests to keep a fist away from the mic and have it pointing at you.
Yeah.
Because we've had a couple of guests that have dropped some gold and the mic hasn't picked it up. So,
Okay.
And you're about to drop some mad gold, so I don't want you missing it.
Well, I'm not doing that on the camera. I'm putting this a little bit.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
This is your friend.
Okay.
This is your new baby for the next 45 minutes.
All right.
Sorry.
So no. Okay.
Your founder babies.
My founder babies. So we do 2 cohorts per year, roughly between sort of 70 and 80 across the 3 locations. I guess because we invest super, super, super early, the programmatic element of what we do is where we get additional intel into how people think, how people operate. And it's usually weird stuff that people don't even really realize we're paying attention to. When we start onboarding people, who's proactive, who's reaching out on Slack, who's, getting involved and sharing ideas. If I go back through the previous cohorts and stuff like that, the ones that jump in really early and get heavily involved quickly usually end up with a check. The ones that don't, typically not.
That's interesting.
Similar to when we're running content and masterclasses and things like that, who's asking really great questions, and it gives us another opportunity to sort of judge trajectory as well. So it's, I guess in VC land, it's kind of a unique way to evaluate people's skills because it's such an intense process. We expect a lot out of people. And so those touch points become more and more valuable. Yeah. And you get a bit more in tune and you get a bit of a gut feel for this isn't for you. And we're not a fit for everybody. Building a business is really hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's seen you slog it out for a few years now. So.
Well, you need to watch the episode that I filmed just before this one about purpose,
Right.
because I've always wondered what the hell is it that's kept me going with Brave, despite all the trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And I think, it's about figuring out your mission, your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But before I dive into all the soppy stuff, no, that's not fair.
No,
it's
this is banter. This is a besties chat. We're not doing soppy stuff.
No, no soppy stuff here. Okay, for those who have no idea who Antler is, for those out there that don't know what a cohort means,
sure,
don't even know what a VC accelerator is, what is, when you say cohorts, what do we mean in terms of Antler? And let's keep it localized to Australia. Yeah. But obviously I'm aware that Antler is now fully global.
Oh, we are very global.
So let's talk about Antler in Australia.
Okay.
What are you? What does it mean to be in a cohort? Yeah. And what does it mean to, wait, you hand out checks? There's money?
So I'm going to correct something first up. We're not an accelerator program.
Oh.
We are a VC. However, as I was mentioning before, as part of our due diligence kind of process and how we get to know our founders at sort of, pre-revenue, pre-idea stage, there is a programmatic element to obviously what we do. So I think we get, I guess, misbranded every now and again in terms of like startup school. And sure, there is elements of that, but at the end of the process, you are there to pitch for VC funding and build a venture-backed business, right?
Yeah.
And not everybody that joins the cohort, cohort is we recruit, call it 70 to 80 founders, like people that are aspiring to build a business, and they could be people that like have already been tinkering with something, or like, or no idea at all, but want to go and build something, and are looking for a co-founder, looking for the guardrails, looking for mentorship, and also navigating VC, because it's a bit of a foreign world if you haven't like been in it before, and like it was a massive learning curve when I joined.
Truth.
So we're trying to move away from that narrative but I can see why people do call us that, because it kind of looks like that's what we do, but it's how we make our investment decisions.
So okay, before we dig deeper into what Antler is, let's talk about what Antler isn't.
Yeah.
You're not an accelerator.
I'm not an accelerator.
What the hell's an accelerator then? I thought that's exactly what we were going for.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tricky one, because it kind of does look like that. But I think for other accelerators out there, there's not necessarily the investment process at the end. Some of it is, and then there's like scholarships at the end, like corporate sponsored scholarships. Typically in like the university programs and those sorts of things. So those are the more accelerator kind of. We're going to teach you the game, give you some feedback. But in reality, what you're building isn't sort of fitting in the VC bucket.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
because I've always thought of like is YC Combinator an accelerator? Because they hand out checks, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's elements to it.
I'm not trying to not trying to beat it out of you or anything.
Yeah.
Just genuine curiosity.
I mean, marketing has to sign this off as well. Thanks, Sarah.
Sarah, way back.
We do. But like, it's. I can see why the comparisons are made. It makes sense, and like we are teaching content and those sorts of things. But I guess even though the post-investment support is really structured and very, very hands-on, you're ultimately building your business. We can kind of help you course correct and provide assistance and those sorts of things, but it's the founders doing the hard yards. So we can kind of, this is how we've seen it work. Good luck. Let us know if we can help.
And you do.
Yeah. I think as well with how the residency is kind of structured as well, I kind of only have everybody as a captive audience in the sort of first 4 weeks. So that's where we run the majority of the masterclasses. So half of that's kind of led from the investor lens, so storytelling for investment and those sorts of things, because it's not an innate skill that everybody has. There are tips and tricks to it, and it is practice skill as well. You might be building something awesome, but if you can't sell it succinctly in a language that VCs understand, then it's going nowhere. But we also, as you well know, pull in a bunch of our portfolio founders to run content and share their wins and failures with the newbies that are coming through. So like that's been really beneficial since we brought that in, being able to sort of give them the opportunity to ask questions that are sort of from people that are sort of 6 to 12 to 18 months ahead of you in the journey.
Yeah.
And like I'm incredibly grateful for all the portfolio founders that we do bring in, because everyone's super honest, super raw. Andre, he ran an absolute belter. Go-to-market strategy was all around sort of SEO and AEO and all the other EOs, but like really, really tactical stuff, which I am taking all the praise for.
And so you should.
Right.
Wrangling all of us chaotic cats.
That's it. Herding cats. Herding cats is all I do.
Yeah.
And like it's a scary thing, and I think there's a lot of over glamorization of startup life, and like when you're doom scrolling LinkedIn and you're seeing someone raise this much money and all of that, and you're like, oh, I could do that.
I'm so glad you mentioned that as well, because that is truth right there. Like the reason I was so, what's the word? It's amazing that being as a side hustle, I should add, a podcast host. I'm really bad at finding my words sometimes. But I was really, nope, can't find it, stuff it. But I was genuinely imagining that, if you build it, they will come type vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your face, right? You're like, oh.
Bless us.
I know. I know, right?
Yeah.
How wrong I was, because the reality is, no, there's so much strategy behind everything. And moreover, the reason that this podcast somewhat exists, although it's finding its purpose right now, is because life as a founder is not glamorous.
No, not at all.
Holy crap. It is a grind.
Yeah.
And, I think you gave the context just now of Antler, and I hadn't even considered it this way. I always referred you guys as an accelerator. My bad.
That's okay.
Course corrected. That this is all just, when you have founders in for 12, however many weeks it is, this is all just you as a VC doing due diligence on the founders themselves. So I've heard your director, Mike, he's a director? Partner. Sorry, my bad. I love Mike, by the way. Got a lot of love for that guy. He's one of the VCs that I've seen on there's fireside chats and whatnot, where he genuinely goes founder first. Yeah. Stuff the idea. Yeah. If we see the passion and grind in the founder, we go for that first.
Totally.
So in your eyes, that you're surrounded by founders all year round now.
Yeah.
What makes a good founder?
Oh, it's a tricky one, because there's a bunch of founder cliches that I want to trot out in terms of grit and resilience and all of that sort of stuff, which is it sounds a bit lazy, right? But when you see it happening, it's exceptional. So I mean, I definitely have I like to trot out a use case all the time, and so I'm going to reference two. And so Haobo from Polar Bear is building an edtech business, and he was 20, English second language speaker, building edtech, which gets a bit of a lazy automatic VC eye roll. Not going to lie.
Yes, I experienced that firsthand with Accelerator. Thank you.
Oh, poke the bruise. I mean, it worked out for the best. And so I think you're trying to say thank you, Rachel, for killing that one.
Rachel makes good founders great.
Oh, you still haven't bought me that T-shirt. That's fine. But what he's been able to do, he already came in with an audience. He is his ICP, and he just moves so incredibly fast. And what I really like about him as well is because there's a lot of sort of talk out there at the moment, particularly coming from YC and stuff like that, that the age of founders coming through is skewing a lot younger, and it definitely has for us as well, but it comes with some of its limitations, right? So what they make up for in terms of drive and maybe less family commitments and those sorts of things, because that's definitely something people have to navigate.
Yeah.
The perhaps commercial acumen might not be as advanced as it is that we would see in older founders, or the ability to like speak VC. What Haobo does really well is he is his audience, but when it's time to put game face on, he's like 100% professional, communicates really well. It's probably the only pitch deck before I see in the last couple of years where we did the run through and I had no notes.
None.
Not a single one, other than do not touch it. It is perfection.
Wow.
Yeah. So like seeing and like, you know, you'd remember when we do like our pre-investment committee and move people into due diligence, you get some really solid feedback on like, this is the stuff we like about what you're doing. This is the stuff that needs to be de-risked. We're going to set you some ambitious goals and see how you go. And we were too low with our goals with Haobo. It's actually it's funny now. So, building out this audience, direct to consumer, that's also another VCI role, obviously. Direct to consumer in EdTech.
Role?
Yeah. Direct to consumer is hard because it's such a volume game, you know, and typically lower ticket price, right? You know, if you're doing B2B sales, it's, you know, longer game, but... And so as part of his track out feedback, we asked him to get 10 paying customers and like 50 active users over 5 weeks.
That's mad.
No, it's not. What's mad is by IC in 5 weeks' time, he had over 400 paying customers and 16,000 active users.
What?
Yep.
I haven't even got that many freaking users after 2 years.
Look him up on LinkedIn. I'm sure he'd be happy to have a chat.
I have already reached out to him.
Oh, you have?
Yes. And
well, he's a busy boy.
He's already agreed, because I know he's a social media mogul.
Yeah, he is.
He's already agreed to be on the podcast when he's up in Sydney.
Yeah.
He's Melbourne.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, Haobo.
Yeah. Teach him how it's done.
Tell me your secrets, good sir.
Yeah.
Because what the heck?
It's like it was awesome to watch. So we'd do like weekly check-ins and things like that, and the numbers were just going awesome, so good.
That's cool.
And then another one, Harrison from Refresh. I trot him out all the time because I'm like maternally obsessed with him. I am old enough to be his mother. But how he moves and how he operates, he can get in front of pretty much anyone in Australia within a week, which is like he's got his own networks and things like that, but just. He's pure chaos. It's brilliant to watch. But he kind of came in as not through residency, but more of a fast track. So moving straight into due diligence. And so the business that he pitched at Trackout was not the business that we ended up investing in. Yeah. And what he was able to do was basically bin the initial one. And it's around, so he's building now for, I always butcher this, psychosocial safety in the workplace, which has now got regulations that are coming in that, you know, large enterprises have to provide that framework and guardrails to look after psychosocial safety. And he was playing around in like the wellness space and stuff. Like there was a lot of correlation to it, but it was more of a B2C business. Yep. And so in that 5 weeks, built out a whole new enterprise distribution channel. And just and the learning trajectory was awesome. And so Michael Cron and I spent quite a lot of time with Harrison to gear him up. And he's, again, a young guy as well. But I think what both of them have in common is they're very good at building audiences. So Harrison had a podcast before. Yes, totally. Called Really Mental.
I'm down with the cool kids.
Well, I don't know, because Harrison got up to like 400 million streams or something crazy before Amazon acquired it. So maybe he.
I'm sorry, what? What?
Yeah.
No. Did I hear that right?
I might be inflating. I know it was in the high millions in terms of like
And Amazon
took it over, acquired it. Yeah.
Bought his podcast. Yeah. Dear God, what?
It's okay, Pete. Have a drink. It's going to be fine.
No. This is.
Yeah. Like, and I think it's like one of the things that James really likes to like. James is one of our general partners in the business. Likes to ask founders when he's doing the interviews and things is, how did you first make money?
Mm.
And it's quite interesting. And he's put it out there on LinkedIn, and it went a bit viral. And it's just so, I mean, there's a lot of sort of buying lollies and selling it for a markup and things like that.
Yeah.
His own example, James has so many good fun facts. Every time I think he's done, he pops out something else. But his one was he went to a Montessori school in the UK, just locally, not on purpose. But like,
James McClure, yeah?
James McClure, yes.
Love James. Hey, James.
Hey, James. And it was a vegetarian high school. And so him and his best mate used to go down to the bakery and buy all the sausage rolls and then sell them at a markup when they were, I don't know, like 14, 15 or something.
Genius.
Yeah. And so the LinkedIn post, we had people importing fishing rods from China and selling it at a markup. We had people selling cattle, lots of vague drug references for sure.
What I'm finding fascinating from these stories is that like there's clearly just there are some people, some individuals just that have it in them.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying the skill sets to sell something necessarily, but the actual get up and go to just bloody do it.
Yeah.
Without anyone keeping them accountable, without anyone, checking the KPIs every week and whatnot. Because, when I was at university, I probably could have made a dime if I sat off of my lazy bottom, but instead I smoked weed and ate pizza.
I mean, this new generation upsets me greatly. Like, when we do the weekly pizza drinks and things like that, I'm spending more money on non-alcoholic than I am spending on alcoholic these days because new generation, they're not about it. It's all side hustles and building agents and...
maybe those that are at Antler, right? Because I know, and I don't want to get too serious on this episode because that's not why I brought you here.
No, that's not why we're here.
But I am also, everyone's like Gen Zs. I dread for the future of humanity. So I do wonder if maybe like the spectrum of where, that generation is just far wider than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Those that want to succeed are starting at, well, it sounds like in school, Montessori. I mean,
it's James though.
Well, sorry, that's James. He's not a Gen Z. You're not Gen.
One of us.
No, but Haobo is the example, or Harrison, right?
Yeah.
Starting early, hyper driven. Non-alcoholic beers. I mean, why would you?
Why would you? They're actually more expensive than alcoholic beers.
I bet they are.
Yeah, finance manager does not approve.
It's the hippie market, right? I mean, I am
hippie tax. Yeah,
I am drinking a trippy hippie. This is not sponsored. Maybe it should be. So no, I do. There's those that fear for that generation, but then there's some of the stories, some of the exposure you've had to that generation sounds like there's nothing but hope, or there's such a huge echelon of those that are potentially underserved on the internet because it seems like only rage baiting and numpties get the real spotlight.
Yeah.
But you're working with.
Through. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. So.
Oh, no spoilers. Okay, yeah.
So it sounds like, by definition, you are surrounded by that upper echelon.
Yeah, but I think those qualities are innate in our high performing founders, regardless of age.
Yeah.
Right. To your point, like it's that like inside drive to make this thing, and so. Whether it's like selling sausage rolls at high school or, we have a lot of elite athletes in the portfolio and those sorts of things, that kind of mentality translate very well to founder mindset. And so, there's obviously a lot of doom and gloom out there around like Gen Z and the robots taking our jobs and all of those sorts of things. Although I did see after the Atlassian cut recently that they're hiring more for human skills rather than tech skills because it's just expected that, like, particularly the next generation growing up as digital natives and, being able to upskill in this really, really quickly, that human to human skill is starting to die away a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm making my money.
Oh, is that it?
Well, I mean, people still buy people, right?
Yeah.
You still need to be able to walk into a room with the decision maker and this is why you need what I'm selling.
Yeah.
And this is why you need to trust me. And this is why I am a good person.
Yeah.
And those relationship building skills. And like, I'm interested and scared to see how that skill set either, survives or, where we have to then roll out more educational content to like teach people how to talk to each other and not to robots.
Well, so the irony I see right now in let's just take devs as an example, and this is not a dig at devs,
no,
or any that I've been exposed to,
sure.
But if you're using AI to build a platform, that requires you to speak to a robot, an AI, in a concrete, concise manner that often is not a skill that some individuals actually have. If you want said AI to build this, you need to be able to explain it in a way that makes sense to the every person.
Yeah.
Not just the dev that you're used to, right? That's my thesis on it anyway. So I think we're probably safe in terms of that skill set. In fact, I've chatted with like Bastian, with Dan, all my founder mates. Like we're at a point right now with tech.
You're an older generation though, if I'm going to counter that. Sorry guys, love you, and I'm in that generation as well.
Oldie.
Yeah, but like that's the commonality there.
But we have 2 years of having a superpower.
Yeah.
Because in 2 years' time, even the barista at my coffee shop will have an app on their phone that will be able to create whatever app they want.
Yeah.
So right now, it's those people that have the ability to talk. I guess that's why I'm doing a podcast, because I need to practice.
Yeah. All right.
Keep practicing.
Yeah.
Those who know how to talk, communicate, and best communicate their needs are the ones that are going to be able to build the best right now.
Yeah.
And that's a short-lived amount of time. I say 2 years. I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
It could be 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
So where was I going with that? Fudge knows. I guess it's more along the lines of like, we're getting to a point where, yes, you're going to need that human interaction, because at the end of the day, we're going to get so used to talking to robots that actually things could end up flipping.
Yeah.
And the human interaction is going to be the premium.
Yeah.
So one example, Bastian, one of the older generations.
Oh, stop it. I am one too. So, you are my people.
You're part of that party.
Yeah.
He was like, can you imagine a world where you have humans as a service?
Oh gosh, that's very Black Mirror. I don't know if okay.
No, but it was like, when he explained it to me, it was like, it was actually interesting, right?
Sure.
Because like you can create a podcast now with AI avatars, with AI voices and everything. You could have a fake podcast, and we're going to get to a point where people are so sick and tired of AI slop,
totally,
all this stuff, that it's going to do a whole flip around, and that human content, human created and curated content is going to be seen as the premium. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm a hopeless optimist.
I am hopeful. I am hopeful as well. Because the alternative is like terrifying.
Yeah.
We've got a business at the moment going through residency that is looking at like deep fake detection, things like that. She'd had like a lecture or something that she had done, like ripped off and monetized by somebody else. And then she's also talking about that Andrew Forrest spent like $100 million fighting Meta for like the 30,000 deep fake images of him so that, I mean, that's scary. People can just rip off your stuff and then profit from it, or just put things out. And I find that scary. But that's also what's so cool about where I work, is that we've got people coming in to like address those problems and like before it becomes like super problematic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like so. One of the lessons learned that when I went through your Accelerator residency program, so that's the term.
Yeah.
Was you need a problem statement, and better yet, you need to be able to quantify that problem statement.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first arrived, and we talk about like not understanding VC speak and all of that. Holy crap! I was like, "Oh, I've got a cool idea. Will you give me money?"
Tech.
Don't.
Sorry.
I've got a cool idea. Will you give me money? Well, what problem are you trying to solve?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Okay, let's try and sideload a problem onto this, shall we?
Yeah.
And actually, it turns out some of the best founders I've ever spoken to are like, you say, so what's your startup?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to solve the problem of.
Yeah.
Instead of going, I'm building this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when you say someone's trying to tackle deep fakes, that is a real problem. And what's really interesting is 2 years ago when I went through a residency, it probably wasn't.
Nope.
So if I had come then and said, deep fakes are the future, and here's the problem that's going to be caused, and this is not supposed to be like some kind of hypothetical question.
I have a rebuttal, obviously, but...
No, I can sense it coming.
Sure.
Would that have been a yay or a nay? Because that would have been a futurist viewpoint.
Yeah. And look, it's a tricky one. Like it's such an interesting space to be in at the moment because like everything's like there's a new tool I'm expected to learn every week, a new robot I need to learn how to drive every week. So when we are investing, like we don't know what the world's going to look like in a couple of years. Don't even know by the end of the end of the year, which is where it comes down to like backing those founders. And I mean, if we go back like a couple of years ago when that sort of mounting technological advancement wasn't quite as aggressive as it is now, still very much the same thing because we're backing early stage founders on wing and a prayer, and we're backing people to be able to figure it out because things are going to blow up, like market trends are going to change, regulatory stuff is going to like throw in hiccups and things like that. We're backing people to figure it out, and that is becoming more and more important now like investment decision making, and why we spend like an aggressive amount of time before the investment committee getting to know founders and seeing how they move, because it's more important than ever before. And the business is going to chop and change. Like, is Brave what it is when you pitched it at IC? No?
It is so far removed from what it was
Totally.
at IC. And it's so interesting because when you were saying all of that in my head, I was thinking about another conversation I had with probably another, millennial founder, that I really, truly, as a founder that's gone through, I mean, last year was tumultuous. Oh
yeah, you had a pretty brutal year last year.
I had a brutal year in so many ways, not just startup. I now truly do understand the founder first mentality. Because 90%, I feel like 90% of people that were in my shoes would have quit.
Yep.
And whether it's what I used to frame it as just not ignorance.
Arrogance?
No, it's just, why am I unable to, I'll blame the beer.
This is just a besties chat. Don't be nervous. It's fine.
What cameras?
Yeah. Why am I the cool, calm, collected one now and you're getting flustered?
Because you do this to me.
Get that a lot.
Look, it's just the inability to give up.
Yeah.
What's the word for that?
I think there's definitely I say like lame, vague, like grit, determination, resilience, like that sort of stuff. But like it's like to my earlier point into what you're trying to say, like those terms
trying to say.
Well, no, like those terms don't really cut it.
Yeah.
Because it feels just a bit like, again, lazy. Like what makes a good founder? Grit, resilience. Like,
but it's understandable. People get that.
Yeah, but that gets thrown out all the time. It's when you see it in action or you're going through it yourself and you're like, oh, this is my grit coming out. Like, no one's ever doing that. But you're like, it's hard to put language around those, those drivers, because it's a bit more intense than, grit. Yeah.
No, but you're spot on, because it's not like when I find myself battling through a scenario, I don't go, here's my grit.
Yeah. Here's my resilience.
Yeah. No, you don't do that. You search for something without even realizing it that goes way deeper than that.
Totally.
And again, I was talking to Jeff Bullers in the previous session about this, and it's you can call it purpose, mission. It is what it is, but at the end of the day, it's something that's deep inside you. It's not about, I want to make $1 million in 6 months.
No, those are not the founders that we back.
Yeah,
because that's well, one, it's not venture scale. VC. Yeah. But like that's not a good enough driver.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one because, like, I think when we were saying before around the like over glamorization and like, with eucalyptus just like, making a bunch of people multi-squillionaires and those sorts of things. But we do our very best. Like, our scouting process is pretty good, but we call them founder tourists. Where perhaps you've decided that you don't want to work for anyone anymore because you've had a shitty boss. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And you're like seeing all these LinkedIn stories. And oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, I would like a $250,000 exit for sure. And then they get in and it's like, oh wow, this is hard. Like I don't have any budget. I have to do everything myself.
Yes.
I am sales, HR, law, legal, accounting, exactly. But, and so, they come in and those myths are dispelled and they're like, oh, actually, no, I'd like my steady paycheck and my nice security, please.
So I know that obviously the Antler residency has, even before you get accepted, there's like an interview process.
Sure.
And so obviously you're trying to filter out, the ones that
Yeah.
you might spot from day dot are the ones that are in it for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be some that slip through.
Of course.
All right. How do you spot them on day one when you see them in person? Do they kind of emerge? And what would you say is like, let's say, you said 70 founders.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, let's make an easy number. Let's do 100.
Okay, good. Thanks.
I know. It's like, math. What would you say would be like the percentage that drop out within the first 2 weeks because they're just like, nah.
Yeah,
I
great
got this
question. I get this all the time in scouting processes and things like that. It's like, what percentage of the cohort get invested in? It's a really hard one because not everybody that joins makes it to the investment committee.
Yeah.
And we also have processes in place because, we're not paying people to be with us. Like this is hard, and if we know like early on that we're not a fit, then we'll have those conversations. For most part, people are like, yeah, you're right. Sometimes there's some tears, which is never really nice. But coming back to that like founder first sort of thing, like we're not going to string you through like a process for 10 weeks when we know at week 3 that we're probably not going to we are not going to invest in you. That's not founder first. That's not respectful of your time, but also our time. So we do, and we're being much more transparent about that in terms of, these are the reasons that people fall over. These are the things that we're looking for. If you want investment at the end of this, don't do that.
Yeah.
And so we have like, time boxes where we kind of like, okay, it's week 5. We will be parting ways with some people. Like, we hope you've really enjoyed your time and we've really loved having you, but we're not a fit, so... And it's similar to the IC as well. So not everyone that moves into the due diligence phase gets invited to the investment committee. And where things fall over there is around trajectory, co-founder breakup. That's always awkward in the middle of
I want to
DD.
talk about co-founders in a bit.
Okay, fab. And again, we don't want to put anyone through the investment committee because it's a lot of stress. It's the kind of culmination and this is like determines the next 5 to 10 years of your life, right? And if we know outright that it's not going to go,
yeah,
I don't want to work for a company that like supports that. None of us do. So we have like, and it's uncomfortable for sure. It's definitely a muscle I've been growing better. Over the last couple of years, for sure. Uncomfortable, but I'm getting better at it. But I just kind of keep in my mind as like, this is for their best interest.
Yeah.
It might suck, it might hurt, but I'd rather respectfully call time now than put someone through that process and then send like a blanket email being like, thank you for your pitch. You were not successful.
No, and you have to maintain the humanity. And at the end of the day, it's like, this is a huge step for anyone, even those that have it built in their DNA, right?
Yeah.
So one has to take that seriously and with a level of respect, even if it's just outright, we just know you're not good for it. So I think that's amazing.
Look, I'm really proud about how we operate as a VC. The team are very, very intentional. We're very transparent about the fact that this is a high feedback environment. You may hear things that you don't want to hear, but it's with your best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And no one's trying to hurt anybody's feelings. There's pretty pleased to say that we don't have, and there's VC horror stories out there for sure. And none of our team kind of come in with that sort of ego and that kind of mindset, because there's a power imbalance, right? You're coming to us because you want our money. And so there's, there can be that power imbalance out there. I think some people enjoy that.
I get that. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, the one thing that I've always loved about being, involved with Antler, and I mean, it's been 2 years since I got my first check from you guys. Well, my only check so far.
So far.
Yeah. And despite the fact that, Brave has changed, Brave has pivoted hard. Last year was basically like, it was do or die. You guys are always there.
Yeah.
You're always supportive, and at the end of the day, you put your own, not your own, but the fun.
No money at VC, friends.
Into something that you want to see results from. And so when there are those that aren't necessarily making the results immediately, unlike the Haobos of this world, congrats, by the way, bro, that's insanity. There's always that level of humanity. And that's what I love about Antler. So we talked about who maybe drops out. Like, what's the percentage of those that maybe hit the cohort and actually do get through to IC and get the check, or just make it to IC? So IC, what is that for again?
Investment committee. So that's basically where you come in and you show us everything that you've done for the last 10 weeks with us. A lot of validation, a lot of traction. Obviously, commercial outcomes. Greedy VCs want to see the money. And then you pitch. There's a decision-making process. Ideally, that's a yes, and we give you a check. And it's a tricky one to quantify. So how I usually do it when I get asked this question is that, as I was mentioning before, we have to have a good level of confidence that everyone that we send to the investment committee has a good shot at receiving investment. So if I look at sort of the last sort of few cohorts where we would typically send, call it between, 14 to 18 teams to the investment committee throughout that residency, we would make sort of 8 to 10 investments. So once you get invited to the investment committee,
it's still a solid. I mean, that's
over
over 10%.
You have a really good shot. But it depends on the size of the cohort and those sorts of things. But yeah, it's pretty decent, I think.
I mean, I guess, based on those percentages alone, I guess I'm quite proud of the fact that I made IC twice.
You did, yeah.
Failed one, got through the next.
I know, and that was heartbreaking because I know how much you put into that, and but
better place.
Totally. I remember having this conversation when you kind of bounced back and was like, "Hey, what do you guys think of this?"
Yeah.
And you just had a different energy about you because that wasn't what you wanted to solve for.
No, and I think back on again the whole purpose and whatnot. And if you want to get a startup because you want to make $1 million in 6 months or whatever it is, that's where I was at with my first startup pitch.
Yeah,
because I was a crypto bro, still am.
Oh, peer judgment.
Oh, I shouldn't put that on fucking internet. Should I?
No.
I was a crypto bro.
Okay.
Edit that out.
Reformed crypto bro.
Reformed crypto bro.
Sure.
And yeah, I wanted to, build a token, have everyone buy it, become a quazillionaire, and then, that'd be that.
Yeah.
And that's not a reason to get into the startup game.
No.
The reason to get into the startup game is because you have something inside you, whether it is, and predominantly it'll be hopefully for good, that you want to leave as a legacy.
Yeah.
That's the purpose.
Yeah.
And, I guess that's also what it comes down to in terms of founder first.
Yeah.
So, and I learned all of that in my first bout of Antler.
Yeah.
Getting all the way to the end, getting rejected. That's chill.
Yeah. We've
and
got
then
a
doing
few of you
everything.
in the portfolio though that have gone through, and so Haobo's co-founder Percy, he went through when did we the cohort before they all run into one now, and was working on something that I think he just kind of latched onto because he was maybe feeling like he was treading water, and he really he connected with this other co-founder, and we can work together and stuff. And it didn't even make it to IC. That was one of the ones, unfortunately, that we were like, hey guys, this isn't going to launch. So, but he came back, and now he's on a rocket ship.
So Percy and Haobo met at Antler.
Yeah, Layla and I like to. I like to refer to Layla and I as Mel and Alessandra from Married at First Sight because we totally matchmake them.
I don't know if I know that reference, but I'll
Don't know Married at First Sight?
I mean, I've heard of it.
Oh my god, I am a reality TV tragic. No, so they're
I'm the crypto broker tragic.
yeah, I know. We're outing it all, but no. So that they're the experts that help matchmake the people and then give them guidance on where their relationship is going wrong. And Alessandra, I think she's Spanish. So Layla's our gorgeous Brazilian investment manager who leads scouting, and Mel's the more battle-worn, cynical one. And so we're Mel and Alessandra for Antler.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I guess let's touch on this because as part of the program, there is founder matchmaking.
Yeah.
How successful is that normally?
Look, it's a tricky one, right? Because we take the Married at First Sight reference, but you don't get. You can people look good on paper together, and you can set them up. But if there's no chemistry or that's really hard. So what we do very well is get like-minded people, very driven people into a room together, run them through some structured dating, I guess.
The speed dating.
And let them figure it out. But also, again, being very consistent with our messaging in terms of what good looks like. So, even if you're coming in with something, spend time with other people, jump on other people's ideas, because stuff usually gets put in the bin in the first 4 weeks anyway. Yeah. So you have to keep your options open. What I think is a very useful tool, though, is the 50 co-founder questions, which I make everybody do. Even mothers, husbands and wives. I had the Rudikov brothers. I made them do it, and they've known each other from birth. Made them do it, because it helps surface all of those hard questions and hard conversations that you need to have. While it is all fluffy bunnies and everything's exciting, and the world's your oyster and it's all possible, and I like you, you like me. We're going to solve this problem. It's going to be awesome. And then 6 months down the track, post investment, you find out that you fundamentally disagree on what a good exit looks like, or how you navigate hard conversations and those sorts of things. So it's an uncomfortable exercise to go through. Yeah. I remember you took some time to do it too with your co-founder.
Yeah. No, I mean, we went through the motions. I mean, I guess in hindsight, we might have fluffed over it. I don't know.
Sure, it's a little bit like a resume because you want people to like you.
100%. And again, and I only know this because I've trudged through 2 years of being a founder. But at that time, I think I was just desperate for the opportunity to get a raise under my belt.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm not going to speak too much about my co-founder. I don't have that co-founder now. Sure. We had a split. Yep. I'm now, doing, running Brave technically as a solo founder currently. Although there might be some news in that space at some point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's. I found the 50 questions. Could you give an overview of what the 50 questions are?
So that actually ends up being about 100 questions because there's a whole bunch of sub questions as well. But it starts out pretty gentle. What are you here to do? Have you got an idea? What are your skill sets? What are your achievements? What are your personal green flags? Or what would you warn people about your red flags? And then it kind of goes into, okay, well, how do you handle disappointment? How do you handle rejection? How do you celebrate good news? It's all of those sorts of things where it is all still fresh and nothing hard has happened. And And it's uncomfortable, right? And people will be as raw and as honest as they're willing to be. And there, to your point, there's a little bit of fluff because you're like, I like you, you like me. That is definitely a red flag for me, but I'm not going to tell you that because I don't want to ruin this.
I know.
Because it's basically dating, you know?
It's dating, it's getting married, and not all marriages end in success.
No,
right?
and also what is true at that time might not be true in 18 months.
Yeah.
So I had a chat with a founder more recently, and similar situation to yourself where, 18 months, and this is really hard, and it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And things are being dropped, and the other co-founder's heart just clearly wasn't in it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But just be like, so what was true then is now not true, and then a hard conversation had to be had.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Like, I remember one of the things about the whole landscape was, try and kill your baby fast. Without context, that sounds terrible.
I know.
Don't clip that.
Yeah, like I can't, but I really love that saying. Get comfortable with
kids. I don't like saying that.
Oh no, of course. This is why I'm not maternal. But yeah, you've got to get comfortable with, like, you can't be precious about what you bring in. And I like what you were sort of saying earlier around, like, with Accelerator and things like that. You had a solution searching for a problem.
Yeah,
it's backwards.
Yeah, 100%.
It's never going to work.
And I guess where I was going with that is the co-founder stuff is probably the same, right? Yeah. You have to, instead of fluffing over the 50 questions and I'm dating you and I think I think you'd be sexy and all.
Yeah. We hold hands at lunch.
Yeah, I'm going to take this analogy way too far.
Good, I'm here for
it. No, you need to try and kill that relationship early.
You do.
And I interviewed, JP was probably, I think it was my second episode. And it was like,
they were like, they're a unique love story, JP and Tim. And I love seeing them together, 3 years. It is a lot of marriage analogies. But they teamed up really early on. But what's interesting with them as well is initially they pitched JP's idea.
Yeah.
And then we're like, nah, that's not it. We are the team. That's not it.
Yeah.
And then went back with what Tim's got experience in.
Well, he actually told that story on the podcast.
Oh, did he?
You should have watched it.
I didn't. I'm very busy.
I've got 70 founders to make.
Yeah, pushing buttons, making dreams come true.
It's all good. It's all good.
I did definitely watch some of it.
I jest. This is all an experiment at the end of the day.
Yes.
And you're now part of it.
Yay.
So no, at the end of the day, I think the reason I bring up the co-founder stuff is not because it didn't work out for me personally or whatever, sure. But it is a very interesting element of the program that Antler provides, and it sounds like certainly with JP. And why have I forgotten his name? You literally just said it. Tim, thank you.
Okay.
I am hashtag be shameless.
Yeah, back to back podcast. So you're running our words.
Well, and plus I've had at least 3/4 of this.
Oh. Thought you were British.
Not after having 2 kids.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So look, it does work. And sometimes it doesn't. But it is a fascinating element of the program.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think I would assume not a lot of VCs do.
No, and I think, but it's like any relationship, right? It does take work. I know of one company in the portfolio that we invested in pre-me. Can you imagine Antler pre-me? No. But they go to relationship counseling every now and again, just to make sure that they're speaking the same language and nothing's getting confused. We've had other, we've had obviously a bunch of breakups in the portfolio, and people move through it in varying degrees, and it's tricky, right? Because it is a relationship. You've just put blood, sweat, and tears in for however long, and emotions do get involved, and those sorts of things. And so it's really hard sort of sitting on the VC side being like, be mature, handle it well. It's not going to look good if you know, and that's hard because it is a breakup. But we've seen people navigate it like really cleanly, and we've seen people who are like heading towards the divorce that have managed to turn it around. Like it's a wild ride, which is why that's why I love about my job, because I'm good at that stuff. So usually when I get a call out of the blue from a portfolio founder being like, "Hey, do you have some time later today?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." They typically always come to me first, which I love because I'm very vain, but also like that's what I'm good at. Like that's
They come to you because you're good at it.
Yeah,
For no other reason.
and I'm
than
vain.
that. Queen.
Sure.
Slay.
So I had got my queen emoji after you left.
I saw it. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, okay.
With the crown.
I mean, I've loaded it onto all of the channels.
Yeah, straight up, as you should. That is personal branding.
Yeah, that is personal branding. Yes,
We haven't even touched on
we
the
haven't. No.
All right. Okay. Part 2 coming up.
Oh, goody.
No, because we are. It's been an hour. Mind you, we started a few minutes late because Tom didn't let us know. I see you, Tom. Look, we probably do have to wrap up.
Sure.
Terrifying.
I mean, helped, and I mean, look, it's the nerves beforehand. Like I haven't done this before, so and I know it's I know.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Depending on how it goes and how annihilated I get on LinkedIn, but sure.
No, this has been, when it reaches nearly the hour and I'm like, fudge, we have to call it before talking about the real stuff I actually wanted to talk about because daddy got to pay the bills.
Well, I mean, we didn't even touch on half the stuff that you sent me over. So
no, I know. What a fail, Ben.
I mean, look, both of us are such talkers, so that was always going to happen.
We do well. I've always said that when my previous job at Apple, people were like, "Oh, so what did you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I was a systems engineer in the education team." "Oh, what does that mean?" "Oh, I just talk for a living."
Yeah.
So this is my new
Yeah.
This is my new solution to that, to talking for a living.
Okay.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah.
It's a passion project, but yeah.
Well, I have missed like the other one that you used to do when you were out walking.
Found lessons learned.
Yeah, found lessons learned. I have missed that. It's been retired, hasn't it?
It's not been retired.
Oh.
I keep filming them. I just never post them because there's no reason. I just fail to do so. But I feel like this is somewhat supposed to be like the evolution of that.
Yeah.
So because founder lessons learned was always a means of me in the spur of the moment. Oh shoot, I just learned this lesson.
Yeah.
And there is no founder school.
Yeah.
Or there
we're not one.
Yeah, exactly. No one teaches you this stuff.
No.
And and my most recent video actually was not a founder lesson learned as much as it was like an homage to founder mental wellness.
Yeah, I saw that one. You weren't even walking.
No, I sat.
Yeah.
There ain't no walking around there. I was like, and I got a lot of comments for that one because they were like, oh, a lot of people reached out on a personal level, like, but are you okay?
Yeah.
And that was so sweet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I did it intentionally or not, but as you said before, you doom scroll and everyone's like, yeah, I raised this much money. Isn't founder life amazing? No, it sucks sometimes, and sometimes we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that everyone DM'd me, no one commented.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, two people did.
Yeah.
And it's because, I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I think it might be because it is still hard to openly interact with those types of conversations in public.
Oh, look, absolutely. And then, I guess an additional point on that is if I'm thinking about like some of my conversations with founders that are out there fundraising, because that's hard. Like we really do help support, but it's hard. You're just being told no constantly by people that don't understand what you're doing, or other reasons I'm not going to go into. I'm not trying to slag anybody off, but like if you're out there raising, you need to project yourself as being confident and competent and driven and relentless. And so turning around and publicly saying, actually, this is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
it could damage you down the track because, someone sees it. The ecosystem's very small. Australia is a very, very small place in the grand scheme of things. And they'd be like, saw so-and-so had a wobble on LinkedIn the other day. I don't know about the longevity in this. And so.
Or they see the perseverance and the grit.
But that's the money. That's the people that you want to take money from.
Yes.
Right?
Thank you. Yes.
So that's, I think that, there's the sort of term around like smart money, dumb money. And you can, this is why I tell like our founders for like follow-on raises and things like that, like see what else you can get, see what doors that they can open. What is the strategic support? Like, what we offer you and how we work very much hand in hand. Don't just take dumb money off someone because you are running out of runway and they're not providing any value for that. Because getting them off the cap table later can be really problematic. And I've had a few founders that have been in that sort of situation. So, you while there is a power imbalance because they have the money, you need the money. But really, they need you to make their money work.
Yes.
So it has to be a two-way process.
I think that's a really, really good point. And I think it's something that most people don't understand.
No.
Because money is money in many people's eyes. But actually, money doesn't come for free and it comes with baggage. And just like the co-founders, just like everything else, there needs to be that balance and that understanding and connection.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, when I post something where it's like, no, this is fucking hard.
Yeah.
I suffered last year, but I'm better because of it.
Yeah.
If a big VC sees that and goes, oh, he complained about it being hard, I'm not going to invest in them. I don't know if I want your money.
Totally.
And if a VC turns around and goes, holy crap, that guy is actually speaking the truth and he's trying to help other founders as a result.
Yeah.
And he has pushed through it and look at the pivot he's just done and it's insanity and well done.
Yeah.
As a founder, first VC,
totally,
I'm down.
Yeah.
And I guess my hope is that maybe that's a reality off the back of all of that. Who knows?
Look, I mean, I hope so.
I still have to build a good product.
Well, yes, and start making some monies.
I'm making money.
More monies.
Always more money.
I'm one of them now, Pat. I'm a VC. No, it's happened.
Changed.
James is very proud. It's happened. But look, I think that I've had like some horror stories from founders in terms of like working with angels and things like that, because again, there's that power imbalance, right? And I have one founder, it was quite a few years ago, was engaging angels for like a follow-on round from Antler. And they were saying that this particular angel like just put them through the ringer, like 3-4 months of due diligence, wanting this, that, and the other. And at the end of it, was like, well, congratulations. I'm prepared to write you a check for $10,000. And this founder had just spent like 4 months like courting this person because of how like how it was kind of the relationship was sort of set up as like, this person has a lot of money.
Yeah.
So this is annoying, but it's gonna be worth it. And then after 4 months to turn around and be like, I'm prepared to give you $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, and he was ropeable. And was like, you've actually just cost me $10,000. Like
more than that, 4 months.
Like exactly. Like
That's yeah. All right, let's end this on a high.
Okay. Yes.
So we do have to end it.
Yes,
and I'm actually sad about that. So, if there's any founders out there watching this, and they're stuck, they don't know how to get started, they don't know about Antler, what would be like the inspirational one sentence? I'm going there.
Okay.
What would be the inspirational one sentence you might say to get them to go, you know what, I'm going to give Rachel from Antler a call and I'm going to join the cohort and I'm going to follow my passion and my purpose?
I'm going to pinch something from KD, from Phobo. Just start.
Do you know how many
It'll be too late tomorrow. Just start putting one foot in front of the other. Like it's scary, and I love what we do in terms of like obviously yes the VC side and the team side, but the community side. Like what I've really loved seeing from you is like trotting out Andre, trotting out JP. You need more women on here, PS.
I actually reached out to Katie. Get back in touch.
She's busy. She's busy
making the moolah.
Yeah, she's busy making the moolah. These are like years long relationships now that you wouldn't have had otherwise with Antler, and you're all doing the same thing, and there's a lot of knowledge sharing, and with our lovely new office in Sydney, having the portfolio founders around and giving them that space to like work together and share and stuff. It's been so cool. So. While yes, the Antler team is headed to sort of, guide you through the fundraising and the VC stuff and things like that, like building as a community is also what I think is something that we do really, really well and is interesting about what we do. So just start, like follow our content, like get in touch. We're like the team and I are always happy to make time. Sometimes it's not a right fit, that's okay, but we'll be pretty upfront about that. So.
Yeah. I love it. And you mentioned community, and I agree. Like I have found some hopefully lifelong friends as a result of Antler, but the community that has spawned from that. So I guess with that.
Cheers, Pat.
Cheers.
It was less terrifying than I knew I was going to be fine once I sat down. So
it was fun, right?
It was. Okay, yes, it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And on that note, the cheesy outro comes along. So, I hate doing this. It's so cheesy.
I'm going to stare at you awkwardly while you do it.
# be shameless. If you like what you saw, if you love Queen Rachel and you want to know more about Antler, then I'll put some details in the description and what have you. If you got any questions, comments, leave them because the algorithm apparently loves that and I need some of that. Like, subscribe, listen to us on Spotify because Brave is helping us to publish everywhere. It's insanity. It's a one-stop shop, one button, everywhere. And here's the Brave ones. Much love. Cheers.